Alright guys, so Marvel Snap has revealed all the spotlight caches for December. Today we're going to break down what are the best ones you should be opening. And of course, a massive disclaimer, as in December, we are looking like to be getting one of the biggest Marvel Snap drops that you definitely do not want to miss. So we'll talk about that in a second. Before that guys, I've got to say, we're doing a challenge on this channel where we're going to try and hit 1k subs by the end of the year. And if we do, then I'll continue uploading Marvel Snap. So if you want to see daily content from me and you want to see me continue uploading Marvel Snap content, then be sure to subscribe, because yeah, if we hit 1k subs, I might continue. We'll see. Alright, so you lot don't know, at the end of July, we got our little leaks. And this is the last time we got leaks for the game, basically. Other than a few little other stuff and actual card arts. But essentially, we got the leaks of what would have been the current season we're on right now. But then also the new season starting tomorrow, which is what's coming out during the month of November. But then also we have new references towards cards. And normally when we get references towards cards, those are normally named first, and in the next patch will normally reveal the actual card arts, and the next patch afterwards will reveal what the cards actually do. But that was in July. We haven't gotten any update towards what's actually coming, and that's more or less because I imagine Second Dinner really does not want to reveal what these cards do, because maybe one, it's revealing cards that are not actually being revealed in Marvel Rivals, or maybe they really want to crack down on leaks, because if you knew what these characters actually were and we had the full arts and we saw what he did, there's a good possibility you wouldn't actually open up any spotlight caches during the month of November. But we don't know what Marvel Rival cards are actually coming. We have basically Bruce Banner, Banner Hulk. Makes sense, he does transform in the game. We have Doom 2029 from the game, of course. Penny Parker, very looking forward towards her, because I am a move main. She might be a move character. Most Spider people actually are. We have not Tombstone, don't worry about him, he's already been shown above. Rocket and Groot, Galacta, which is the female Galactus. People are going to go sim for her, and then also Luna Snow. You know, a pretty strong lineup. Doctor Doom, basically Hulk, Rocket and Groot, Galacta and Luna Snow. Luna Snow, not too much, but you know, 4 out of 5 cards basically that are like, yo, these are actual characters people know. Where we look at this season, I don't really know anyone. I think I might know Serta from something before, but generally speaking, most Marvel Snap cards that come out nowadays are characters most people, if you just watch the MCU, don't really know about. Which is why, if you look at the last season before this, you know, Symbiote Spider-Man, they are going back and redoing popular characters, because that's what people want to see. And in December, if this is going to be the new season, this is going to be a massive season that a lot of people are going to want to save and open for, regardless of what the characters actually do. And you have to remember, once it gets leaked, it's probably likely coming next month or in a few weeks. So you actually don't have time to say too much, which is why I really recommend most people not skip this month. Unfortunately, I think we're not going to get the full leaks or patch notes or whatever actually comes from it, probably likely until the mid-month, or maybe even after Frigga's left. And we'll talk about Frigga, because I do feel like she's the one most people should be picking up a little bit. But yeah, you really don't have time to save. But let's talk about the spotlight caches. Just be wary when we do talk about the stuff coming, that yeah, well, there are bigger things coming, probably likely in December, so be careful. So we have our first spotlight cache, which is Frigga, Red Guardian, and Copycat. This, I feel like for most people, should be a must open, or you can open it and not feel too bad about it. Let's talk about her first. She is a on reveal 3/3. Add a copy of the last card you play to your hand, which is essentially just a mini Clone and Vats. If you ever had Clone and Vats as a location, did you benefit from it? If you did, you're probably going to like this card. My deck that I use right now is my move deck, and I'm probably just going to replace Craven in this deck and then put her in, which would be like a crazy combo if I can use like Iron Fist, Aranya, move Human Torch to where he's like plus 16, move it into a Madam Web lane, move him out, he's now plus 32, and then boom, I play the Frigga on turn, wherever I play it on, and I get a copy of 132 for free. It's kind of crazy. Like, she actually has a potential to be a really good card in certain decks. Not a full-on plug-and-play like how you have other cards. I would say more so like, obviously, Red Guardian and Copycat, because these are, you can plug into any deck and not really worry about it. Destroy, put them in. Discard, put them in. Move, put them in, and you don't feel too bad about it, at least for Copycat, because she copies what your opponent's doing. 3/5, you don't feel too bad about it. Red Guardian, obviously, being, I imagine, a card that a lot of people skipped. I know I did personally, because he's always been good, but it's not like, oh, you have to have him. And even right now, I still feel like you don't need to have him. It's just good to have him. Like, you're never going to feel bad about playing him. And I do feel like with more ongoings becoming popular, and of course more activates coming out, he's always a card you're going to want to have, because you'll see later during the month that we do get Fenyx Wolf, who is another activate card, and just hitting him with Red Guardian when you play him, you're going to really stop a lot of game plans. So, yeah, I feel like for me, this one is a, not a 5, it would be a 5 out of 5. For this month, it probably is. I do feel like it is the best spotlight you can open up this season, so don't feel too bad about it. Plus, considering that is at the start of the month, you still have time to save until what's coming in December. So, yeah, that's kind of good, right? Moving in, we have Manik, Fina, and Valentina. This one I don't feel like is great. Valentina is a card you're just not going to use, let's be honest. Fina, actually pretty good, but I feel like if you already wanted Fina, you probably already got her either in the battle pass or you picked her up with tokens. If you're waiting for her to return, it's not that bad to pick her up now. Unfortunately, you do get a pretty stinky spotlight cache because you don't want Valentina. But the new card though, Manik, though, what he does do is a 4/6 on reveal, add a 1, 2, or 3 cost card from your deck here. Bear in mind it's your deck, not your hand, and it is revealed at the end of the game. They've already shown it in the gameplay trailer that it does not reveal the actual card, so you actually don't know what it pulled. However, with that being said, drawing your cheaper cost cards from your deck to where you're more likely to pull the cards you want, or your more expensive cost cards from your deck, because it is making your deck smaller, is actually pretty good. He's not a bad card by any means. He's actually pretty good, and I think the combo a lot of people have been talking about using with him is what Wong. You play Wong, do you play Malikith on turn 5, and then it summons hopefully 3 or 2 free-cost cards. And, you know, if you set your deck properly, granted it's a bit of RNG if you don't pull them because you've got to be in your deck. Like, get Ironheart and then get, like, Sage or what they showed in the trailer, which is Wolfbane. It could be good. It's just, I'm not interested in it. You know, it's not going to create an archetype. It's not a big bad. It's not going to change your deck a little bit. You can probably use it and people will find success in it. It's just, I feel like for the majority of the player base, you can skip him and feel fine about it. Like, you're not going to feel bad about skipping him. Next one is Fenris, Wolf, Annihilus, and Werewolf by Night. Not gonna lie, I think it's a pretty stinky spotlight cache. Annihilus, I haven't seen him in months. No one's really using him. Werewolf by Night is good, but has returned quite a few times now to where I imagine most people have him. But hey, bounce is obviously good now. Werewolf Knight is in a bounce deck. If you wanted him now, this is the time to pick him up. And also moving on towards a new card. It is a new activate card, finally, after like, what, a month now? 2/3, resurrect the highest power discarded or destroyed enemy cards to your side of this location. So they showed in the trailer, if you destroy a big card on the right location and you then activate the card, it will then resurrect on it where he is, not where you actually kill the card, which is obviously good because you can kind of think of like a double Shang-Chi. You win a lane with Shang-Chi and you now win another lane because you resurrect the card. It's kind of a broken combo. I will say Shang-Chi has fallen out a little bit. It really does feel like a lot of people aren't really using Shang-Chi, but you still lose to him as well. But it's more of the surprise Shang-Chi where you're staying on turn 5 and you're thinking, nah, Shang-Chi's not real. Surely he doesn't have him. They have him. Where I think with this card, if you're going towards the final turn, if you see you haven't discarded anyone yet, granted it could still discard on a final turn, but they're more likely to be Shang-Chi in. So that does kind of give away what the game plan is, and you can probably retreat or even Cosmo or Eliath the lane, you know, where your big cost card is and, you know, play around it. So it does give some stuff away, but I do think it actually can be a pretty good card and pretty fun card that I definitely want to play around with. So I will probably be buying this one and skipping the actual Spotlight cache because I am not interested in Nihilus. He's hardly used at all nowadays. And Werewolf by Night, I've already got him personally. If you didn't already have him, maybe you want to summon for this one. But once again, we are getting closer towards the December actual Spotlight caches because our first December, I guess, Spotlight cache going in December is one you probably want to open. So it's why I recommend probably skipping this one and maybe buying him or maybe waiting until he returns probably like, what, March or something. I don't think you need to have him, but like him and just like Shang-Chi can probably go into any deck and you'll be fine with it, I think. They can, like him and Shang-Chi can just win you the game alone a little bit. But yeah, the final Spotlight cache is Gore the God Butcher, who is going to be ongoing +2 for each on-reveal card in play. This does count towards your side and also their side. And he showed it in the actual gameplay trailer. He had like +27. A lot of people use on-reveals. If you remember when Leech got changed to where he removed on-reveal card effects, and he had to change it because everyone hated it, because everyone uses on-reveal, yeah, he's going to be a pretty big card. You don't even have to worry about yourself actually using on reveals. Not that is even a bad thing to do anyway. He's just going to be, he's honestly going to win most of his lanes, I'd imagine. Like, I find it hard to believe he won't be one of the biggest discard cards in the game. But obviously alongside his actual Spotlight caches, you have Havoc, which if you haven't gotten, he is not a card you're probably going to use too much, but we saw in High Voltage, he was actually a pretty good card. So I actually don't have him, and I kind of want him now just for that mode, if they ever do return it. Once again, one of those cards where, like, okay, if he's more relevant later on in the future, I'll take him. And get Havoc while getting Gore wouldn't be the worst thing. Legion, also another situation where he's just a good card to have in your collection. They both are Series 4 though, which is not great. So I guess if you actually want them, you're probably more likely to buy them. And like I said, Gore is a character dropping probably the more likely before the Marvel Rival season. And we'll probably know what the cards do. So it's very hard to say probably opened up this cache because you're more likely going to be more excited and you're going to want the new cards come in. And that might persuade you a little bit. So if anything, it might be better just to buy Gore. So yeah, in terms of what you should open up this month, I'd say open the first spotlight where it's Frigga, Regardian, Copycat. For most people, probably going to be a must-have it because Frigga's going to be a decent card. You're going to want to get Regardian. Malekith, I feel like it's going to be a skip. He's a card that like is good, but I think most people are probably not going to use him. Most people have the archetypes that they just solely play, and he's probably not going to add anything to it. If he does, then sure, pick him up. Fenyx Wolf, if you're interested in how he plays and you want the card, then I recommend probably buying him rather than opening, unless you actually want Werewolf by Night. And then same goes for this actual spotlight cache. For me, I am missing Havoc, so I actually will probably open it up. But if you have both these cards, buying Gore is probably the best play here, and then saving your actual spotlight caches for what comes in December, as once again we're probably going to be getting the Marvel Rival Club. If we don't, it's still good to see what comes next. So guys, that is going to wrap up today's video. Once again, if you made it towards the end, then let me know what you lot are going to be opening. Currently right now, I'm personally only going to be opening this actual spotlight, and then maybe buying these two cards because I want to see what comes next. So leaks would obviously let me know. I might change my opinion a little bit as we get closer towards the leaks, because if we do get the spotlights for the Marvel Rivals Club and somehow worse, then I guess yeah, I'll just open up these. We'll have to wait and see. So guys, thank you for watching. If you made it towards the end, leave a like and subscribe, and yeah.